Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Welcome
Definitely for the first time.
to the Bored Nerds movie review.
We watched Spider-Man.
We watched Spider-Man.
OG Spider-Man.
Like we said we would.
We said
Spider-Man.
we finished Tomb Raider. We said we were gonna watch the original.
Right.
Get your toe shit out of here.
Back to toes.
No,
So-
they're saying good thing it's not in it.
Oh gosh, fucking toes. Mess up my mojo, man.
You Tojo?
My
We,
mojo.
so we watched the original Spider-Man trilogy, at least as far as the modern films go, with Tobey Maguire featuring. There's Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if we'll get around to Amazing Spider-Man or Homecoming, as most of us have seen it recently.
Yeah.
But
Homecoming, definitely.
I think you want to how we all feel about the movie.
Yeah. So how did everyone like it?
It's good.
I liked it. There were things about it I did not like.
All right.
We
That's
will get
fair.
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going into this, I liked this movie, and after watching the first Spider-Man movie, I like
Yeah,
it.
it hasn't
It's
aged
still Spider-Man.
poorly. It's
I-
aged like
I went
it's
in-
different.
I went into it thinking that I didn't like it because I don't have fond memories of it, especially with Tobey Maguire. But after watching this one, man, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know
actually
why
a
you
really
don't-
solid film. I don't know. I just don't remember Tobey Maguire. But I remember him as a babbling baby. That's all I remember him. Like he always
And like honestly, this could have been like had the separation of rights not happened.
Yeah.
This could have easily fit into the MCU.
Yeah.
Like it's real grounded.
Yeah.
It could have absolutely like fit and just started all of it if they
I mean,
wanted to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it had a lot of build up, and it had a lot of. I mean, it had a lot going on with the second and the third one, but so we really have a formula here with what we always do
Yeah.
for the superhero
Yeah.
films. We didn't do it for Tomb Raider because Tomb
It's
Raider's
not
not a
superhero.
superhero. Sorry,
She
Sydney.
did kill a lot of people in the game.
That's not what superheroes do.
don't kill people.
Yeah, she's kind of a super villain.
All right, more on that later. But
Trying to live her life.
No, I
So-
mean she caused a natural
So
disaster.
we usually cover
Dead.
the plot, and we're gonna hand it over to Keaton this time
Let's see if you
to
can do better this first
tell us the
time.
plot.
At the end of the movie, said, "What's the plot of this movie?"
Yeah.
I did.
I think he was referring to what Green Goblin wanted.
Well, no, yeah, I lost track of it halfway through because at first he's like, I'm the Goblin and I'm evil and you're hurting Norman Osborn. And then all of a sudden it's like, I want to take over the city and Spider-Man is in my way. Come join me. Not going to join me? Kick you in the balls.
Did he say
Okay.
he wanted to take over the city?
I don't know. That's the thing. That's why I was like,
He
when
said-
did he...
He's
said
kind of
things,
just
but
crazy.
Let's get
Yeah,
to it,
he's
Keaton.
just crazy.
Okay.
What is the story of this movie?
The story of this movie is Peter Parker, your average nerd, turns into Spider-Man, a superhero, by way of genetic spider.
Ah,
And then after the genetic spider bite, he's like, I'm going to make some money, get a car to impress this pretty redhead, and I may be crazy.
Tell us what happened next, Keaton.
Then Uncle Ben takes him to this thing, and he gets hit in a car accident and then shot.
that's not what happened.
Well, hey, we didn't introduce ourselves.
Car mugging.
Okay,
I am Levi.
I am Kathleen.
I am Keaton.
Lee.
Megan.
Casey.
Jeez. We got to the
Go.
same point.
Go, Keaton.
Okay,
It's
and
not a car accident.
it's a
All right,
car.
hold on.
It's a
So
car
Uncle
jacking.
Ben
It's a car jacking.
happened to be there where at the end of the fight scene that dude was stealing the money. That dude who stole the money came down and shot his uncle to steal his car.
Allegedly.
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 Allegedly,
I hate that
because
you have to say that.
I have a
but
sneaking
you do.
suspicion that it was actually just plot development.
Oh my God.
Could have been. No.
okay. Anyway, and meanwhile, while Peter Parker
Ben
dedicates
Parker.
his life to fighting crime after being a complete screw up at one point and accidentally inadvertently causing his uncle's death, he. The Goblin shows up and starts terrorizing the city, and he's like, "I gotta stop him."
Played by Willem
Well,
Dafoe.
how does the goblin come about?
Willem Dafoe's developing a serum.
Willem
I mean, Norman.
I like how he transitions between Norman Osborn and Willem Dafoe as like they are the Green Goblin and
Norman Osborn is the sane one, and Willem Dafoe is the crazy one.
yeah.
We got Norman Osborn and Willem Dafoe, and Willem Dafoe's like, "Ha!" and he turns into the Goblin and goes crazy and kills people.
Yep.
And this is how he looks the whole movie. Like his transition is just him and
He's
spread
very
wings.
good at being a creepazoid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Creepy as hell.
And the mask. I'll say this about the mask. It pulled me out of it a little bit because I wanted to see his face with a
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a little bit scarier.
But To be
Plot.
fair, when they did the Goblin in the
Oh,
other
and then-
movie,
and then-
it wasn't. It was stupid.
That's
but
true.
Not
Keep
good.
But
going.
it wasn't Willem Dafoe.
That's
That's the
true.
problem.
And then when Peter Parker ends up, the Goblin finds out who he is, goes after his family, forces his aunt to finish a prayer, and then drags her off to Crazy Town. And then,
True fact.
shit.
Sounds so much worse when you describe it, even though I just watched it. Finish the prayer.
No, because he's sitting there and he's like, finish it. Evil.
She didn't
Okay.
even finish it.
So what else happened?
And then he's like, oh, you like this pretty girl, do you, Peter? Let me grab her.
No,
Pretty girl,
no,
children.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Thanksgiving. I forgot about the Thanksgiving thing. They're sitting at Thanksgiving, and Aunt May is like, don't eat the turkey, and he's sitting there and he's.
I
It
thought
was,
it
it
was
was
plain.
sweet
That was
potato
sweet potato
casserole.
casserole.
It was sweet potato.
Was it?
Yeah, it was so Willem
Because it was
Dafoe.
it was
It was
marshmallows
little
on
mush-
top.
Wait, no, who was it?
Oh.
It was Norman Osborn who tried to go for
Yeah.
the casserole.
And then Willem
and they
Dafoe.
slaps him.
And he turned into Willem Dafoe.
And that's why he goes and makes her finish that prayer.
Yes.
So we had that backwards. But yeah,
Sorry, I forget.
he's crazy at that point.
He's crazy.
And all this while, Mary Jane has been dating
Like three guys.
different dudes,
Yeah, asshole dude. Then they graduated high school, and Harry, and
and then she's
kind
been
of Spider-Man.
she's been
she
like
wants.
sleeping around
She's
with
into
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
She wants that spider dick.
And then she wants
yeah.
Peter at the end of it after Harry's like, my dad's dead, and Peter's evil.
No,
I don't know.
missed that
Spider-Man's evil.
You just missed
Peter's
the
his
whole-
only family left.
William Dafoe died.
I mean, Willem Dafoe gets hit by a glider.
his
In
own
the
glider.
penis.
A glider.
Just a sugar glider.
Car
One
accident.
of the many that are out here.
It was a car accident.
It was a hang glider crashing into him.
Okay,
All right, so that was the plot.
Roughly.
that's about as good as our plots
Hold on,
go.
what was? What,
Let me give you
the
some
very
big
end
points.
Of the movie.
So Green Goblin and Spider-Man fight at the end. Spider-Man dodges his glider and it kills Green Goblin, aka Harry's dad, which makes Harry hate him. And Harry and Peter, Spider-Man, were best friends, so now their friendship is like on edge.
No, they're still friends.
Yeah, because he doesn't know.
Yeah, but it's not
gotta
that
be
their
awkward.
friendship is fragile. It's that Harry is now
Peter's like,
fragile.
I killed your dad, kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the whole second
and
movie, just
then-
him being like, oh,
And at the very end, Mary Jane tells him, "I love you, Peter." And what does he say?
Like,
Fuck
bitch.
off.
So,
I know.
yeah, basically.
basically.
So that's the plot of that. What else we got? Levi?
All right, so I got some fun facts here. I want to
please.
change it
Yes.
up a little bit, right?
Lunchroom.
So we talked about the
Lunchroom scene
lunchroom
was
scene
fun.
where he catches all the food on the tray. Not CG. Fantastic. Took them like 1 billion tries. After 156 takes. Excuse me. It has it
But Toby
listed.
eventually did it.
Yep, they did it.
Lee has a hard on for Toby.
Toby good.
Hugh Jackman was supposed to have a cameo as Wolverine.
Yeah.
had enough.
But they couldn't get access to the X-Men costume,
I was like, this is
like
right
the leather
next
black
one.
jumpsuit that he wore in X-Men 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They couldn't get access to that, so they didn't do it.
Was that
Wow.
this one or was that the Amazing
That was
Spider-Man?
this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would have made him canon. to
It
the
might
X-Men
be the
universe.
Amazing Spider-Man also. It wouldn't surprise me. And this was the only other one I'm going to read is that this is the first Marvel movie to have the flipping of the comic book pages as the
Oh.
intro for the Marvel logo.
I didn't even really notice.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good intro with this one, but it was really long. But I mean, after that, they had the whole spider
Yeah.
suit and webs and shit.
No,
Very
And
similar
then
to like the X-Men
Willem
intros.
Dafoe performed 90% of his own stunts.
Nice. That's respectful.
Yeah.
I can always respect that, unless you're like dying in your stunts.
Yeah,
So-
don't do stunts if you're dying.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
So what else we got? What else do we
He's a
usually
god.
hit?
Yeah, so next I guess we'll talk about the villain.
Villain.
Yeah,
This
the
movie
villain.
had a villain.
It had an actual villain who was a bad guy.
I
Right.
loved it. I want to quote this, or I said this earlier. I want to talk about the scene where he's got Mary Jane in one hand over like the Golden Gate Bridge or something, and he's got a car full of.
Wasn't this in New York?
This was in
Oh,
New
it
York.
was in New York. It was they moved
you
the
say
Golden,
Golden
Gate
Gate?
Bridge in this movie. He's got a tram, like a air tram full of children, and he's like, Spider-Man,
Which one?
choose which one. And after he says that, he immediately lets them go.
Yeah.
Doesn't even give them a chance to think.
He doesn't like yuck
Make a
it up
decision.
for a long time.
Make a decision.
Yeah, immediately, and that's villainy.
And
Like,
he
that's
goes
amazing.
to Mary Jane.
Immediately.
Yeah.
He saves them both because he's Spider-Man,
He
and that's
swings
what he does.
back under the bridge, doesn't he, and catches the
Yeah.
train halfway through.
Yeah, that's,
Also,
that's
if
what
he
he
would have
does.
used his fucking skeletonized grenades
Yeah.
on him there
Oh,
at the end.
God.
Yeah, can we
Spider-Man be
talk about
dead.
that tech that he has to just turn people into skeletons?
Yeah. I swear that thing had to
And
cost
then-
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You just had the one.
Disintegrate the skeleton.
Like, I mean, a
Yeah, then the
handgun.
skeleton it disintegrates all the flesh off the bones, and then the bones turn to dust. Like 2 seconds afterwards.
I mean, a handgun's like what, like $400? I feel like he
No,
could have just
no.
as easily flew up and just shot them.
yeah.
You can get a good handgun for like $150, $200.
Or a regular
a
grenade.
good
Or
handgun.
yeah,
You know,
it's a little messy though. But
That's true.
yeah, yeah.
Less messy than turning everyone into skeletons?
Well,
They
Yes,
turn into
because
dust.
they
You
turn
just
into
sweep it up
dust.
afterwards.
Yeah.
it turns everyone except for people that aren't relevant to the plot.
Ah,
it's a
it's a plot
It's a
grenade.
plot grenade.
Plot grenade!
Those are so
Because
dangerous.
MJ and Harry were just fine, and they
Yeah.
were on
They
the
were
same
They weren't in the
place.
They were slightly farther.
It's
away.
got like a weird like.
It's
curve
got a weird
radius that-
peanut-shaped AOE.
Yeah. So, the villain, super great.
Yeah,
I-
it's good.
The
Yeah.
only thing I would complain about is, opposed to his original outfit, the purple, like,
Yeah.
shitty little outfit with the green actual goblin look. I like that Green Goblin more. Sorry, we actually have something on in the background that some of us
Yeah.
are distracted by.
Hi, Joey.
Oh, Joey here?
What up?
Hey, what's up,
What
Joey?
up?
But the original Green Goblin design is an actual goblin, whereas this movie,
Well,
he's
his
like
face
a
was fucked up.
He's a
in
Power
that.
Ranger.
yeah,
He's a
pretty
Power
much like
Ranger.
a Power Ranger villain looking
Yeah,
thing.
And with the head, he's Jet Jaguar.
he is. That's pretty great, actually.
Oh, that reminds me of another good scene in this
Saints
with
about
the
to
with the
win.
fire. When he comes in and there's a big fire going on,
GG.
and they kick the door in, and there's this old woman going, "Oh no!" And then he pulls off the thing, and it's like, "I'm the Green Goblin." Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wait,
my
what was-
one problem
In the
with
fire.
like the Green
Oh.
Goblin
I like that scene.
was, so Keaton told me that the Green Goblin is basically the Joker to Spider-Man, kind of equivalent.
I can see
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I would
I
definitely say
wanted Willem Dafoe to go batshit insane.
Nah,
I wanted
you
him
don't
to
get
go
that.
a little like he was just. I felt like he wanted to go further with it, but he didn't.
The Joker is more thoughtfully insane.
What's his face
The
was
Goblin's
holding
just
back.
crazy.
Not Willem. Willem Dafoe.
Dafoe is just
Hold
What's
on.
his face was holding back Willem Dafoe.
He's down.
Osborn.
Osborn was holding back
Willem
Dafoe.
Dafoe.
He also didn't have control of the ball. He lost
Nope.
it there.
So
My favorite
after,
scene.
oh,
Sorry.
go ahead, go
Okay,
ahead.
My favorite scene was when James Franco walked into the house and Willem Dafoe was like, and he just goes, "Dad."
Dad, is that you got a weird movie on or something?
He walks down. Yes, son. So
Like, I
after
really
that,
love you, son.
we usually cover Easter eggs as well. I think that's a good point to jump onto. And in a lot of the X-Men films, because we watched those in such a large bulk, we were able to point them out very, very easily. And this is kind of the start of a new modern Spider-Man era.
I know two of
So
them.
I really don't feel like they would include a bunch. But if you have some in mind, yeah, let's go and hear them. What you got,
That are
Keaton?
referenced throughout all three films. Eddie Brock is referenced in the beginning of this.
He
as
is.
a photographer for the Daily Bugle, and Dr. Connors is referenced as a work for Peter, who is the Lizard.
Yep.
Those are the only two that I pulled out that I
Um,
saw.
I
I would-
would go back to my thing here and see if I can find something.
Oh, and you've got the Sam Raimi car. That's an Easter
That's
egg.
true.
And Bruce Campbell too.
Oh, and Bruce Campbell's cameo.
And friggin' Randy Savage. Well, it's not really an Easter egg. It's just a cameo.
No, it's just
Truman.
it's just Macho Man.
That's,
Yeah.
that's a cameo.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, Stan Lee. Stan Lee's
Oh, yeah,
always
Stan Lee.
kind of
He fell off
he's
a
a
balcony.
cameo, but I feel like he's an Easter egg in each of the movies because in the Marvel films he appears like
Yeah.
in 90% of them.
Well, and it was also weird for me to see Stan Lee as just like oh, it's a blip and Stan Lee shows up and then it goes away, and not like a scene where everybody's just like, oh, look at this man who's standing here,
Yeah.
cutting Thor's hair like that, you know.
You kids better get out of here. Like he always has some line like that.
Exactly,
But in
but
this
in
one it's
this-
just moving on.
Exactly, and I kind of
Well, this is kind of the golden age when that
Yeah, I
started.
feel
This
you.
was, I think, one of the
Yeah.
first films he cameoed in.
That's why I want to keep reiterating. This is
Yeah.
pretty much the modern age of Marvel films.
This is the very
one of the
first.
starts.
Yeah, this
what
is
got
like
the
what had been
superhero
out.
thing going.
X-Men 1 had come out and and Blade had come out.
Oh yeah.
Two bangers.
Yeah.
Do you but those were for adults. Like, I mean, those weren't really
Blade
kid
definitely.
films.
Blade was.
Blade was a
I didn't know
banger.
Blade existed until I was 17 years old.
Do you have any
That's-
other Easter eggs, Levi?
I knew who he
I
was in the
got
comics. I didn't know
distracted.
about his movies.
There's probably plenty.
Lee, Megan, do y'all have anything else y'all noticed? But
Nah,
I
the Eddie and Connors was really the only one.
I kind of like the human spider thing. I mean, it's not really an Easter egg, but it's more of kind of a nod
That
to
is
his
a
Yeah,
character.
because he did run as a wrestler for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh, we got the human spider. He's like, what? The Spider-Man. He's like, you got my name wrong.
So I ain't going out there.
Yeah.
I didn't like any of the interactions between him and MJ.
Oh,
They were
no.
all terrible.
Mary
and
Jane-
I also
All
didn't like
terrible.
her as a character.
No, she was cardboard.
Mary Jane in this film was bad.
They just won.
Okay. Kristen
This-
Dunst,
Easy touchdown.
sweetheart, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Acting in this, wooden
Yeah, I
at
mean,
best.
Can we
it was
Possibly-
decent.
Possibly particle board. Like,
can I compare her to what the modern version of MJ is like now?
Sure.
From
Which-
what?
The,
From
the
the
current
game?
Spider-Man game.
Oh, sure.
That's the best version I've seen in a while.
slight
and
spoiler.
why is that?
Slight spoilers for Spider-Man if you're interested. She's a reporter in the new game and has a very defined role as who she is and what she
Well,
is. in
she's
this.
only 18 years old.
Yeah, in this one, she's a baby.
They're all 40.
Witches!
I'm 18. I'm better built than she was.
I will say, this movie, the character placement is a little strange.
Is bad.
The casting.
Just a random fact. You know, in the next Amazing Spider-Man, he's supposed to be a junior in high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah,
So they're going
Garfield.
back.
Oh.
to the next
No,
thing.
Andrew Garfield one.
Garfield.
Yeah, he's a
Tom
Yeah.
Holland is
Oh,
the
okay.
only one that actually matches.
It's because in the first in
thing.
Civil War he's 19.
How old is he
Yeah.
supposed to be? Oh,
He's supposed to
be
be
like
playing a
15.
15-year-old
okay. He's what? 22.
now. Yeah.
We need to figure out how old Tobey Maguire was for this film.
30.
Probably like
He's-
30, yeah.
What's our next big topic, though, Levi?
So the next
I
thing
just saw his
to
age.
talk about is action,
I'll find it.
which I think
It was decent.
compared to what had come out before it, Blade had come out, but that's
Blade's
more
a whole nother
that's
beat.
more karate based.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Definitely.
And then X-Men, the first X-Men movie has one fight scene,
Yeah, I was about to say it's very dry.
and it's just Wolverine on wires floating around
stabbing Mystique.
and stabbing people. Like there's no like action in that. Like compared to this one, heavy CG obviously on the web swing stuff, but in the actual fights they're throwing haymakers and they're
Yeah.
fighting.
I think for the most part, the fighting was pretty good, except for when he did like 6 backflips in his first fight as
Oh,
Spider-Man.
I thought that was
in
I
the
like-
school.
I like
In
to
the
think of
middle
that
of
as
the
his
hallway?
evolution because the spider sense takes over his body
Yeah.
throughout the comics and makes him do random
I think this movie
movements.
had an amazing pacing with the
Yeah.
action.
With the
There was
action,
good
yes.
enough action, good enough like calm moments, good enough build up. It was great.
The
actually.
dialogue dragged hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dialogue was bad.
Goodness gracious, the scene where they're in the hospital and he's talking to Mary Jane. I stopped
zoned out,
listening.
yeah.
He's just like,
I stopped listening every time they talked to each other.
Mary Jane.
Spider-Man, when,
I
when
was
Spider-Man was talking
I-
to me, who's not Spider-Man.
that's exactly how he was.
sad.
I mean, he said that you were
Oh, you guys are gonna
Wonderful.
hate 3.
It's
We're not
just
kidding.
so slow.
Watch this film or go look that scene up.
Yeah.
Go look up the scene where he's talking to Mary Jane in the hospital with Aunt May, and it is exactly like that.
Have you seen what they memed out of 3? Well, not.
I
never mind.
mean,
The dance.
the dance.
Yeah,
remember
but there's
that.
another one. It's the butler, and it goes, "The blade that pierced
Oh,
your
yeah.
father's body was from his glider,"
Yeah.
and that's beat for beat how it
That's a
sounds.
spoiler alert. Dude.
Dude, spoiler.
That's-
We haven't seen.
Yes.
What movie is that?
It's, you know,
Past spoiler.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean-
Spoiler for something you just said.
It happens.
That's the way we do it.
Yeah,
That's how we do
unfortunately.
it.
What we got next?
next
Levi?
comedy.
Comedy?
There was, dude, everything J. Jonah Jameson said is gold.
Yeah,
I love
Yeah.
him. He's my favorite character.
The rest of the comedy was unintentional, though.
I thought some of well, of course,
There's some
Spider-Man
hefty
flipping.
camp. Yeah, he's
There,
got some.
there was a
quips every now
lot
and
of
then.
camp. I like the camp though.
The
The tray scene with the webbing was
yeah,
funny.
the tray. That's physical comedy. Always good. Always good to have
I like
physical
Yes.
Bonesaw.
bones.
He wasn't even
On
really
balance,
meant to
off
be funny,
balance,
but
doesn't matter.
it's pretty
Still
good.
better than you.
I don't feel like this movie was as some of the X-Men movies were like,
Weren't they heavily serious?
oh
Thanks,
gosh.
Kenny.
I don't think some of the like the X-Men movies had moments that were meant to be funny and comedic.
Yeah.
This movie didn't really have many where it was like, hey, laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
X-Men
like-
tried. It's like set up joke, and it's like, ooh, that didn't land.
Something we failed to mention is how creepy as hell Peter Parker was in
Peter's a
this
creep.
movie.
Peter's a creep.
He was he was kind of stalkery. Like,
He was
He
really
definitely
stalkery.
He said, "Oh yeah, I was in the neighborhood." He's like, "I had to take 2 buses and a cab to get
Yeah.
here," but
like he's going out of his way to be stalker.
You've got
and it's not charming.
You've got Mary Jane who's like bouncing between guys just willy nilly, not even
is
caring about them.
Actively just fucking with the two of them.
Exactly. And then you've got Peter Parker who is just a stalker. Like I said, the character development here was a little funny, but I mean, again, we all said we liked this movie.
Yeah.
Can I say something about Harry that's off too? And
Let's hear it.
I just noticed it. He has, I guess, a split for his dad, which is weirdly forced in there. At first, he's kind of like, I'm Peter's best friend, and then it transitions to my dad. It's the scene. It's the scene with the
Thanksgiving.
the Thanksgiving scene, and then at the end of it, his dad basically goes off. Spoilers about Mary Jane.
It's okay. We're talking about the movie.
Oh,
We just don't want to do other movies.
reference future.
oh,
Right.
I'm sorry. I'll remember that from now on. He goes nuts, and pretty much Harry's like, well, you're wrong about her. And he's like, they're all the same. Slam. Elevator. Then he comes back, and she's like, thanks, Harry. And he's like, well, he's my dad.
Yeah.
He's the best man in the world. Fuck you.
It's like,
Man,
I
that
hate
was,
him.
I would
Fuck
be half
you, don't
man.
talk bad about him.
And then he goes back home, and his dad's sitting in a court, like Megan referenced earlier, just
Yeah.
Willem Dafoeing the hell out of the
Full
place.
Skeletor.
Maybe
So-
he just did that before the Green Goblin.
We don't know. Maybe that's
His
Norman
laugh.
Osborn
Maybe
didn't
he
do
was
that.
looking at a joke book.
So
We
that-
don't know.
And he just comes by, and it's like, Dad, and they have this whole, what I think is supposed to be a heartfelt moment.
Oh, they
It
hug?
wasn't though.
No, none of them. The,
They
ro-
both look like
the,
they
the-
were going into
the
kiss.
romance in this film was also odd.
It was very forced.
It wasn't
Yeah.
for.
It was very subplot.
Only 18 years old.
Let's wrap it up, guys.
Hold on, I have to say something that's weird.
Yeah.
Say it.
Okay, at the end, when Peter finally kills Defoe,
I wouldn't say that.
okay,
He
When,
killed
when
himself.
Green
Kills
Goblin,
Defoe.
or when
Well,
Willem
whatever.
Dafoe kills
When he's
Harry
defeated.
Osborn.
Yes, when Defoe kills Osborn. No, Osborn
Norman
killed Defoe.
Osborn
Okay,
to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oops.
Spider-Man takes him, right? And takes his suit off and puts him back in his house and then stands there until James Franco comes in.
Well, he was just setting him down.
Yeah, but why did you remove his suit and then bring him back to his house?
It's so Harry didn't know that Norman was a bad guy.
Yeah.
why
he's-
would he want that?
Because he likes Harry. Harry's like a little boy that he's
Oh,
trying to
no.
protect. Have you seen any of his interactions?
Harry
in the movie?
behaves like a toddler
In
the
the
entire
Okay,
film.
but now when he finds out he's Spider-Man, he's gonna be like, "Fuck you, you killed my dad."
Yeah.
In-
That-
yeah, that's
he
the-
will.
exactly what
And then
happened.
he's gonna be like, "Well, your dad was the Green Goblin," and he's gonna be
You're like,
"You're
and he'll
wrong."
go, no.
I know he died in that bed with you standing over him.
All right, guys, we went on long enough for this one. We need to rate it out of 12.
Yep.
Out of 12,
Megan,
8.5.
Lee,
Simplify.
Keaton,
11.
Oh my god!
Kathleen.
9.33 repeating.
Good.
Okay.
I like it. All right, Levi.
10.
10. 9.5.
Oh, didn't expect
There
to
you
have
go.
the lowest score here.
So that's a pretty solid movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd watch it again. I'd force my children
A little-
to watch it.
If
Can I
it-
say
if it's
it?
on, I'll watch it on
Can I
TV.
say-
So, thanks for tuning in.
sir.
First, what did you want to say, Keaton?
I wanted to say that a note about the Spider-Man films as we go through this series. Each one represents the era in which it was made. This could represent easily the early 2000s because 9/11 had just happened after this film was made. And then the remake, Amazing, was very reminiscent of that. And then Homecoming represents this era, if
Yeah,
you notice.
it's modern.
Well,
Okay,
man,
that's it. That's all I'm saying.
it's
Thank you guys so
shocking-
much for watching.
Shocking.
Bye.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.